UK speech laws, where banter ends and prison begins. Britain has some of the strictest speech laws in the democratic world, and the line between lawful expression and criminal conduct is thinner than most people realize. Under the Public Order Act 1986, specifically Section 127 of the Communications Act 2003 and the newer Online Safety Act 2023, you can be arrested for speech that is grossly offensive, causes needless anxiety, or incites violence. The problem? Those definitions are vague enough to drive a double-decker bus through. Since Keir Starmer became Prime Minister in July 2024, critics allege his government has ramped up enforcement in ways that chill legitimate dissent. Let's start with what will definitely get you arrested. 1. Direct incitement to violence. Posting "Let's burn down the mosque on Chapel Street tonight" crosses the line. This is unambiguous incitement under Section 4A of the Public Order Act. You're organizing a specific violent act against a specific target. 2. Terrorist content. Sharing ISIS propaganda, glorifying terrorism, or encouraging terrorist acts falls under the Terrorism Act 2006. This includes retweeting bomb-making instructions or praising specific terror attacks. 3. Threats to kill. "I'm going to murder named person" is a threat under Section 16 of the Offenses Against the Person Act 1861. Context matters, but explicit death threats against identifiable individuals will land you in custody. 4. Child sexual abuse material. Sharing, creating, or possessing indecent images of children is a strict liability offense. No gray area here. 5. Extreme hate speech with targeting "all religious group should be killed," combined with a call to action or specific targeting, is likely to result in arrest under Section 19 of the Public Order Act, publishing or distributing written material intended to stir up racial or religious hatred. Now for the murky middle ground, where the Starmer government has been accused of overreach. 1. Memes and grossly offensive content. In August 2024, a man in Leeds was arrested for sharing a meme depicting a swastika made of pride flags. Police cited Section 127 of the Communications Act, grossly offensive content. He was released without charge after 36 hours, but the arrest itself was the punishment. The threshold for grossly offensive remains subjective and has been applied inconsistently. 2. Criticism of government policy. In September 2024, journalist Alison Pearson was visited by police investigating a year-old tweet about protesters. She was told she was being investigated for a non-crime hate incident under College of Policing guidance. The investigation was dropped after public outcry, but it demonstrated how the system can be weaponized to intimidate critics. 3. Protesting language. During the 2024 farmer protests against inheritance tax changes, several individuals were arrested for chants deemed threatening under the Public Order Act. One farmer was detained for shouting, "Starmer must go," with what police described as aggressive body language. He was released without charge. The arrests appeared designed to dampen protest intensity rather than address genuine threats. 4. Historical or satirical content. In October 2024, comedian Jeff Norcott had his X account temporarily suspended after UK authorities flagged a satirical post about immigration policy as potentially criminal. The post used exaggerated language to mock government rhetoric, but was interpreted literally by content moderators working with law enforcement. 5. Retweeting or sharing. You can be held liable for content you share, even if you didn't create it. In November 2024, a woman in Manchester was arrested for retweeting of a street confrontation with the caption, "This is what they're bringing to our communities." Police deemed it likely to incite racial hatred under Section 19 of the Public Order Act, though the video itself showed no illegal activity. What will generally not get you arrested, but might trigger a police visit or non-crime hate incident record. Criticizing immigration policy in measured terms. "I believe current immigration levels are unsustainable" is political speech, not hate speech. Religious criticism without targeting "I disagree with Islamic teachings" on X is permissible. "Muslims are all terrorists" crosses into hate speech. Satire and parody. Mocking politicians, even crudely, falls under free expression unless it contains explicit threats. Reporting on crime. Sharing news articles or discussing crime statistics even if they involve protected characteristics, is generally lawful. Historical discussion, debating historical events, including controversial topics like colonialism or war crimes, is protected speech. The abuse of these laws under Starmer's government centers on three practices. First, the expansive use of non-crime hate incidents, NCIS, which are recorded by police even when no crime has occurred. These can appear in enhanced background checks and have been used to pressure people into self-censorship. In January 2025, the Home Office reported over 120,000 NCHIs logged in 2024, a 23% increase from 2023. Second, the selective enforcement of public order laws during protests. Right-leaning demonstrations have seen disproportionate arrests for speech compared to left-leaning ones. Data from the National Police Chiefs Council shows that arrests per 1,000 attendees at immigration-related protests in 2024 were 4.2, compared to 0.8 at climate protests of similar size. Third, the chilling effect of investigation itself. Even when charges are dropped, the process of arrest, detention, and legal limbo serves as punishment and warning to others. The Online Safety Act 2023, which came into full force in January 2024, has amplified these concerns. It places a duty of care on platforms to remove harmful content, with fines up to 10% of global revenue for non-compliance. Platforms have responded by over-moderating, removing content that might be controversial but is perfectly legal. The Act's architects argue it protects vulnerable users from abuse. Critics call it outsourced censorship that allows government to pressure tech companies into suppressing dissent without direct state action. Starmer's government has leaned heavily on this mechanism, with Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy publicly praising platforms that act decisively against divisive content related to immigration and gender identity debates. The practical reality? If you're posting about immigration, Islam, trans issues, or criticism of the Labor government, you're in the danger zone for police attention. You may not be charged, but the knock on your door at 6 a.m. is the point. It's a narco-tyranny in action. Low-level speech policing, while violent crime goes under-prosecuted due to resource constraints. The Metropolitan Police solved just 5.4% of reported burglaries in 2024, but they have time to investigate tweets. So where's the actual line? If your post could be read by a reasonable person as organizing imminent violence, making a credible threat, or explicitly calling for harm to a specific person or group, you're in criminal territory. If you're expressing a controversial opinion, criticizing policy, or engaging in satire without threats, you're theoretically protected, but theoretically is doing a lot of work in that sentence. The safest approach? Assume anything you post could be interpreted in the worst possible light by someone looking for offense, and that Starmer's government has shown willingness to use the full weight of speech laws against political opponents.